Hi guys, welcome back to another awesome installment of Farty Art. Today I'm painting the lovely Demi Lovato. I found this picture, I think it's one of her advertising campaigns, and I just absolutely was amazed at her makeup, and just the lighting on this photo was really cool. There's lots of little different skin tones and shiny bits, and her eye makeup was really cool. I was like, I had to have a crack at trying to mimic that in a painting. So here's my attempt at it. This is probably one of the most advanced pictures I've posted on my YouTube channel to date. And I will apologise at this very start of this video, because as you'll notice 2 or 3 times throughout it that it's kind of undoing the work that I've just done, and that's because I'm not a very awesome video editor. So there was about 9,000 stills in this video from Krita, is the program that I was using to make it, and it just saves a still every 3 seconds. So what I've learned is I'm going to extend the duration of the still when it gets saved to maybe like 5 or 10. Because this piece took me about 8 to 9 hours to draw or paint, and that was a huge file to try and video edit. And what subsequently has happened is I think it's got confused when it was stitching them all together and jumble them up, and then that's got to a point, and then there's just rewinds itself. So I am not going to go back through 9,000 stills and try and work out what happened. Sorry about that. So hopefully it's not too distracting while you guys are watching the video. But I think it'll eventually get the point over. There's a few rewindy bits, and it'll just jump to a more completed version. So that's what's happening. So I really like Demi Lovato. She's had a lot of trials and tribulations, and I think she's got an interesting face, especially in this photo. I don't own the photo or have the rights to it or anything like that. I just using it as a fan art reference. There's just heaps of interesting lighting effects. So this is one of the most complex ones that I've done to date. For a few reasons. I've used quite a few different techniques in this picture, and quite a few more layers than I normally would. So I used a layer for her jacket, I used a layer for her hair, and I think I used 2 to 3 layers just on her skin and tones, just so I could give it sort of some depth, and it really paid dividends. So I use a layer for the shading on the skin tones, and I think a layer for the lighting, and at some point I just merged them all together, those 3 layers, and then sort of it helps serve a purpose to get to the depth, and that's what I was going for with the dark and the light layers. Dark and light tones, I should say, of her skin, because there is quite a lot of contrast in this picture. I think that's why it took me so long. I sort of took it a bit cheap when I started painting, and I was like, oh wow, there really is a lot to this picture. It looks quite simple when you're looking at it, but then I was like, well, her skin changes so many times. I don't know where it's makeup or not, but or just the light angles. She looks like she might be a bit sunburnt in a few spots there. It was really an interesting piece to draw, and I had a lot of fun with the eyes, and the chest area too, because there's like quite a variation there, and I really pushed my knowledge on using Krita on this one. So yeah, and the other area of growth I felt like I expanded on was the jacket on this. I am terrible at drawing clothes, and I think I really pushed myself to do a better job at the clothing this time, and that's another reason why I put on a totally different layer, because I knew I was probably going to stuff it up. But I was quite happy with how it turned out in the end result. It just shows you to stick to things and play around with the settings. Like I I think most of the time, honestly, on this was me playing with settings and trying to get the right, textures and things to mimic the clothing, and the skin tones. I will admit I mainly use the blender. I am kind of addicted to the blending tool. But I did use a few other techniques in this picture as well, like the color changer tool. I'm not sure if that's the proper name for it, and the darkening tool and the lightening tool. So I did use them quite a bit to try and get those transitions in the skin tone. And yeah, I do really think it paid off on this one. Another thing you might notice is the hair covering the ear. It really irritated me, and I was trying to mimic that kind of wispy hair that she's got coming off her ear there, but you'll see later on that I couldn't make it work. So I actually deleted the whole bit of hair and just made it come down her face a bit more. So a bit of creative license there. So it isn't an exact copy of her. In quite a few ways, I suppose. So, so there's definitely a few changes, subtle changes there, and the hair was one of them. And I was really trying to go for a likeness in this picture. I think I nearly got it. I'm not 100% confident that I got it, but a few people I've showed it to have said, "Oh yeah, I have." They picked it straight up who it was, so I must have caught some elements of Demi's face to get that likeness. So I'm happy with that, and I can only get better, honestly. This is definitely the better of my pictures to date. I have done a few since this one that are probably better. This picture, just so you know, was drawn probably about 6 months ago, so I've only just got around to putting it in a video. But yeah, there is more better pictures coming, and I'm really happy with my progress, considering this is I'm only 6 months in when I'm drawing this, so gone from stick figure to this. So I'm really happy with just the power of observation, honestly. I haven't done any formal training or anything like that, so just fun. Just have fun and play around with those settings, guys, because yes, you can teach yourself. And I have no art background at all. I'm a welder by trade, and I also do, my second job is doing work with people with disabilities, so it's not really artsy jobs, but I suppose there's creativity in both of those jobs, so maybe a bit of that's rubbed off into this and why I've picked it up so quick. But I think other people are creative in their jobs as well. It doesn't have to be the jobs that I'm doing. I'm sure there's many other jobs, even if you're working at McDonald's or Starbucks or something like that, there's creativity there, in how you set about your day and how you design. You might be designing pictures or advertising for the company you're working for or something like that. So there's creativity everywhere, guys. And, or even out in the garden, if you're out doing some gardening or something, I find that's really a creative space for me as well. So yeah, it doesn't have to be just painting, and observation you can do anywhere. It doesn't have to be a picture. It can be outside, or it could be looking at someone else's work. And I think that's why I'm posting these as well, to show you guys the power of observation. It's not to be underestimated, because you don't have to necessarily be practicing your art every day to get that skill building. But yeah, observation's free. You can do it anywhere, and it pays dividends, honestly. Just think about what you're doing and the shapes and shading and stuff that you're looking at, and you can mimic it. Your brain has that power, without training. So yeah, anything is possible with that side of things. You can see there I've another relapse in my video editing there. It was a completed jacket and then I went back to the uncompleted jacket, but you can sort of get the process of how I went about that. I'm filling in with different tones and colours. and then just kept layering it with different textures. Like I had some sort of blotchy paint brush that I used to mimic the denim pattern. So yeah, guys, I hope you got something out of this video. Please don't forget to have a like and subscribe if you want to see more of this. Yeah, and they'll egg me on. I'll do some more videos. Yeah, because I'm quite enjoying making these videos. I think they're quite fun, and I really am enjoying the time lapse of the process. I'm learning from the time lapses as well, using observation. Yeah, there I go. I just cut out that bit of hair out of the ear. And yeah, it's really cool watching these time lapses, and I enjoy watching other people's time lapses too, because you really get appreciation of the whole process. I will one day when I get better gear maybe have a camera for my hand, but yeah, I'm just not there yet. Yeah, one day. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.